Hi, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today. Thank you for watching. On today's show, we have Kristy, Ethridge, Marie Roberts, and Dr. Huebner. We have a lot of really good information for you. Stay tuned.
Find purpose and soar to new heights at Meridian Community College. Elevate your education through our 52 career technical programs and find the eagle in you. With tuition guarantee and university transfer programs, your education is within reach. Find potential with more than 30 campus clubs and organizations and let your eagle spirit thrive. Invest in your education and register today. Meridian Community College. Find your wings.
Okay, and we are here today with Miss Kristy Ethridge. Welcome, Kristy. How you doing? I'm glad you're back.
I'm good. Thank you.
Even though these are interesting circumstances.
That's right.
But we wanted to have you on the show today to talk specifically about how to protect yourself in this, I think they're calling it COVID-19.
COVID-19.
The COVID-19. What are some ways that that a person can protect themselves?
Well, first of all, to stay away from the virus, stay at home.
Okay.
Just don't come in contact with it. That's the easiest way.
Okay.
The other thing, the most important thing also, is washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds.
Okay, I was about to say, so 20 seconds, and
Yeah.
I've heard people say make sure you're getting under the nails, the
Right.
nail beds.
At
and just make
least
sure
20
that you're-
seconds friction, not
Okay.
just putting your hands under the water. Do your nail beds, really clean your hands.
Okay. Now, this social distancing, what is that exactly, and how far should we stay away from people?
At least 6 feet is what they're saying.
Okay. So
Now-
are we good here, you
Well,
think?
no, we're not good, but just washing your hands, staying in. If you have to go out, staying, like at least 6 feet away from people, but then wash your hands again and
Sure.
don't touch your face while you're out.
Okay.
And
That is one of the hardest things
it
not
is.
to do.
It is because how
not
many
to touch
times
your
do you
face.
touch your face? Because I want to right now.
Yeah. What are some of the symptoms of COVID-19? Do we know?
Fever, coughing, and I lost my train of thought, but definitely coughing and fever and flu-like symptoms in the beginning.
Okay.
And then if you have shortness of breath, that's the other one. If you start having that, then you do need to call your physician or the clinic or the ER or wherever you're going.
Okay.
But you do need to call first because they all have different protocols of what they're going to do, like come to your car or whatever it is.
So if you feel, if you have a fever, if you're coughing, then shortness of breath, then you might need to think you need to call and see what their protocols are, what they want you to do.
That's right. Now, if it's just and if
Now,
it's just the coughing and
Right.
a fever, you can handle it at home and not get out and expose others.
Okay.
But when you
Well, one of the things that I think we're in a time now of a lot of pollen.
right.
So there are people who have sinus problems
They're gonna
are
be
going to be
coughing
coughing. They're going, so sometimes it's difficult to know what's what.
Right.
But if you have the fever,
If you have a fever,
okay,
And
that's the
shortness
big
of
thing.
breath
And
is the
shortness
really
of
big
breath.
thing, right.
Okay, but for many people, okay, they're gonna have COVID-19 and they're going to get through it fine.
that's correct.
The problem are people with pre-existing conditions and other ailments, right?
That's
Is
what
it-
they're saying for the most part.
Okay.
But even somebody young like yourself
Oh, thank
and
you.
healthy, if you felt like you have shortness of breath, you should call your doctor and
Okay.
even a young person.
How long? What's the incubation period? Do we know?
They say it could be up to 2 weeks.
So you could infect people.
Right, that's
Anytime
right.
am I correct in anytime you have a fever, that's when you're the most infectious?
Right, and you could carry those germs around and spread them around and not even know it
Oh my.
for the first 2 weeks. So that's why it's important to social isolate and take it serious. Really stay at home, and if you do go out, wash your hands.
Well, now let me ask you this, because I was in the grocery store yesterday and talking to a couple of people, and one person was just adamant that we were overreacting.
A lot of people are.
Do you think we're overreacting?
I really do not think we
Okay,
are.
okay.
And because
What do you base that on, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I mean, if you just read, if you see the evidence in other countries, Italy, you know, they're not doing what they should be doing, in my opinion. You know?
Right.
And they have had many, many deaths. And if we can just shut things down and social isolate for, and you know, the CDC, the Surgeon General said for 15 days, 15 days just to flatten that curve out, to you know, because you have to think about the hospital. It's not so much as you getting it, because most people will be okay.
Right.
But if you pass it along, you know, they're going to flood the hospitals.
And we only
Do they
have a certain number
enough
of beds and a certain number
ventilators
of ventilators and
right.
things like that to deal with.
That's right, because you don't know who it's going to be fatal for, you know.
Well, now let me ask you something else. I've heard also people will make a comparison between COVID-19 and the flu. And they'll say, well, you know, the flu, we just, you know, has this percentage. Why is that not a valid comparison?
Because they are totally different.
Okay. So we're
know,
talking about two completely different things. So it's like trying to compare apples and paper clips.
That's right.
It's not.
This is a different kind of virus, and they don't know everything about it yet.
Okay.
You know, they don't know.
How long does it typically take to come up with a vaccine for something like this? Because don't you have to go through testing? And last I heard was like 18 months to 2 years.
Yeah, and you know, we don't know. This thing could, like the flu season, it could end when the summer comes. It could, you know, because heat does kill it. So it could end. You know, we may not come up with a vaccine before it runs its course.
Okay.
You know, I don't know.
And that's the worst thing right now, is we just don't know.
We don't know. That's right.
And so the best thing to do when you don't know is to be overly cautious.
Be overly cautious.
And if we can just be overly cautious and socially distance ourselves and wash your hands and don't touch your face and
the young people out there spring breaking and
Don't
doing
do
all
that.
that, you know, it's not so much they're going to get it, but who are they going to take it home to?
Sure.
Who they're going to give it to? Who they're going to pass it along to?
So we, as long as you're, you know, and as you said, they might not have anything to worry about, but they've got parents and grandparents.
That's right.
Or they've got siblings who have other conditions, underlying conditions.
Small children.
That you
That's
have
right.
to be worried about. Well, listen, thank you so much for being on the show today
thank you for having
and
me.
for giving us this information. And I want to have you back, and just stay healthy, okay?
You too. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
All right, so you're looking to make a career decision that's crazy smart and won't break the bank. Then let's start with tuition guarantee and a home field advantage. That's Meridian Community College, and we're changing the game. We've got heavy metal drilling and saving lives. Or how about building a rover that could drive on Mars? We're more than grades in a classroom. We're your Red Bull monster shot of knowledge that will help you own that next job. This is not just the 13th year, it's the gateway to your entire career. Are you ready for more? Well, the eagle has landed. Find your wings.
Okay, and we are back, and we have Ms. Marie Roberts, who is the Director of Digital Teaching and Learning here at Meridian Community College. And when did that title come into effect?
So our department went through just like a quick name change just in the last couple of weeks, but with everything else that's kind of have gone on, that's kind of been put on the back burner, and we're all hands on deck for support right now. So we'll probably have a bigger announcement after all of this excitement has kind of come to a flattening of the curve, as they say.
So most classes here at Meridian Community College will be moving to the online format.
That's right.
If at all possible, that's what we're trying to do to prevent any further contagion with the COVID-19. So what are some of the things that that your area will be able to do to help with that transition, excuse me, and to help with our students?
Yeah, so right now we have about 1,400 classes that are working into some type of transition, either into a fully online or some type of hybrid format if there are some skills and labs and things that need to be taken into consideration. My department right now, we are supporting faculty this week as our students have that extended spring break, and so our faculty are learning and receiving training and support on things like our Canvas learning management system, as well as a tool technology called Zoom, which they are going to be using to deliver live as well as recorded lectures for students. The best part of all of the technologies that we're incorporating, they're completely mobile friendly, so even students who may not have access to a full computer or a laptop will be able to do a lot of things just from their smartphone or a tablet or an iPad, because we realize some students may not have that full device.
So what are we doing to help our students transition to the e-learning format?
Yeah, so in addition to our trainings that we're offering both students as faculty as well, we're just encouraging everyone to stay up to date through the college established page. It's meridiancc.edu/coronavirus. And then we're trying to tell everyone, please tell your students to check their email.
Yes.
Continue to check Canvas. Those are the channels of communication that will begin to be more and more vital as we go through the next coming days and weeks. That's going to be where we communicate, here's what we need you to do and here's how we need you to do it. And then from there we can build on that. You know, let's establishing these, face-to-face video conference meetings or deliver this information. So email is going to be huge.
Now, one thing that you, and I got an email from you about this. Now, as of Monday at 8:30, there are no, you've canceled all proctoring appointments.
Correct.
So if they've already made an appointment for a proctoring exam, those are canceled.
Correct.
So what do they need to do to get a new appointment?
Yes, so students who need to come to campus because they have no access to other forms of technology or they have a proctored exam, we are going to be communicating very select areas where we will have some enhanced safety and sanitization protocols where students can visit those areas in limited numbers to keep that less than 10 ratio down to things like use a computer, access information. Specifically for testing, they will begin to be able to schedule testing appointments again on Monday afternoon, March 23rd. We're just going to do them in a much smaller scale, and there will be some enhanced protocols emailed to those students. How do they get into the building? How do they do hand washing before they start
because
their test?
they're not going to be able to just walk in.
No, not at all. We want to ensure the safety of all of our students and try to continue the social distancing practices that Kristy had spoken about. And so for us, it's going to very much so be, we need you to check your email and follow the information that's contained there within so we can all be responsible for helping this end as quickly as possible.
Sure. So only 10 students per hour?
Correct.
Will be allowed in the e-learning.
That's right. And I'm telling people a lot of this information is going to come directly from their instructors. And so as instructors are giving information to you via email and your Canvas account, please make sure that they're checking it.
Okay. Have you had a lot of frantic students contacting you, if you don't mind me asking?
But honestly, really, I've had a lot of students who have responded back already to emails and opportunities for training, and it's been positive. They're like, thanks for, thanks for the week off, but also thanks for giving me the stuff that I need in order to be successful. So.
Well, I've told my students, I'm like, look, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, and invariably all of them have said, I understand.
Right.
This is what we have to do at this time. It's not like, it's not the perfect situation. It's in some cases, maybe it's not, a good situation. It's just, this is what we have to do at this moment, and it's going to get better.
That's right. I think as long as we continue to cultivate a culture that is understanding and flexible and patient, that's going to be the key for everybody to come out of this and not be frustrated or not find fault, so to speak.
Can we also talk about that? I think that there might be some if a student decides that maybe they can't do this or they don't want to do this, that they can take an incomplete, and we have what's now called an IC, which means incomplete based on coronavirus.
Right.
Or also withdrawal based on coronavirus.
That's right. So our standard practices to allow students alternatives to maybe taking a thing like an incomplete, meaning I just can't finish this right now. Our instructors have been made aware of some additional opportunities for them to be able to work with students, maybe extend their time to complete work if they have more limited access to technologies. From there, what we're just trying to mostly communicate with the students is we're going to do our very best to work with you. We're here for you. We want you to finish your class or to finish your program and to find success and move on to your next level. We do have some alternative options, and we just want to strictly communicate to the students. They're here to help you, talk with your instructors, and we'll do what we can for you.
Well, that's a lot of good information, and I'm really glad that you're able to come and talk to us about this. The biggest thing, as you said, is to make sure that they know and are aware. We keep them as informed as possible about what's going on. They know that about the proctoring, what they need to do, what they need to do to get in the building, and what they need to do to take their tests.
Yep.
And then from then on, it's just communication.
That's right. I cannot stress enough. Communication is always one of those things where you're either really good at it or you're really bad at it. And even some people who think they're really good at it maybe aren't so great at it. From here on out, over information and over sharing in the cases of what do you need and how can we help you, please know that we want to help you, but we need to know what you need. Do you need more training? Do you need more support? Do you need more time? Do you need more delivery of materials? Do you need them in a different format? From here on out, we need you to tell us how can we best help you.
Well, listen, thank you so much for being here
Yeah.
today and sharing this information. It's a lot of good stuff, a lot of information.
Yes.
But we can do this.
We can.
We'll be right back.
Find purpose and soar to new heights at Meridian Community College. Elevate your education through our 52 career technical programs and find the eagle in you. With tuition guarantee and university transfer programs, your education is within reach. Find potential with more than 30 campus clubs and organizations and let your eagle spirit thrive. Invest in your education and register today. Meridian Community College. Find your wings.
And we are back, and we have Dr. Huebner here, President of Meridian Community College, and you have some information to give us about Meridian Community College's response to the COVID-19 virus.
Right. So we've worked really hard to be as in front of things, as on top of things, as prepared as we possibly can be. In an environment like this, literally the information is changing on and sometimes minute by minute basis, and
Sure.
so I've assembled a group of leaders on campus. We're trying to engage and involve experts in particular areas on campus to make sure we're making the right decisions. So consequently, what we decided to do initially was to extend spring break for a week.
Right.
We would then bring certain personnel in who were going to be focused on two objectives. One objective was going to be getting us to move online, to move our courses as best we could online. The second objective is in cases where a class can't be moved online. So for example, we have in the career technical area, in the health professions, allied health and nursing, we have some courses that cannot be easily or really at all moved online.
Right.
So our two objectives were to figure out how to move courses online or to modify those courses in such a way that we could continue to deliver them in light of the best available research and the best available information regarding the safest way to deliver, to be in contact with folks. So we've done that this week. We've suspended travel, now all travel. We've we've postponed graduation. We have canceled activities that we're going to be
sports, plays,
sports, anything
music.
like that's going to be on campus this semester. And we are closing our residence halls. We do know if a student needs a place to stay, and if a student doesn't have alternatives, they can certainly contact Calvin Bennett.
Right.
And we're going to work with those students to make sure they are fed, they have a place to sleep, and that they are, again, in as safe a possible environment as we can give them. But we're certainly not equipped to house individuals with COVID-19. We're not who have that to quarantine personnel or individuals or students in that residence hall situation. So we're just trying to stay on top of everything, and so we're meeting on a daily basis, and we're reviewing the information we have on a daily basis.
There is so much information, and it is changing so rapidly.
It is. For example, don't remember the exact date, but the governor just less than an hour ago today asked that schools remain closed until, I think it was, I don't want to misquote the date, but until a date in April. And so then the question becomes, how does that impact us on dual enrollment and dual credit? So for us, we've already started the conversations with our K-12 partners regarding how we're going to handle dual enrollment, dual credit. For the students who are coming to our campus and taking classes, they'll just move right into the online format, the same as all other students. For the students who are on those campuses or who are taking the dual enrollment, dual credit at the high school, we still have some conversations and some things we're trying to finalize and work. But it's been on our radar screen, and we're as prepared, I suppose, as anyone can be in light of how things are evolving and moving, as to have those conversations and to move forward in a way that we think will be beneficial to the students.
Well, the biggest thing is we want to make sure that our students are safe. We want to make sure that they know that we've got their back, and that we're, even though we're moving to an online format in many cases, there will still be services available.
Right. So
there will still be technical, where they can get help if they need it.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Lowell. We've got we're aware that some students may not have technology, they may not have access to the internet, and at this point, we are leaving a number of our facilities open, and computer facilities open and available for students to be able to use them to complete their online courses if they need them. And of course, then having support in the same kinds of ways we have in the past for students who need help. And so we are trying to, our goal is to place more personnel in those areas, not exceeding not exceeding 10 people in a space, which has been the recommendation. So we're trying to adopt all the safety precautions we can. We have also adopting a strict cleaning protocol related to those spaces that involves wiping down areas before, wiping down areas after, telling students that they can't even come in the room or in the building if they have certain symptoms. We are devising ways for students to validate or verify they don't have those symptoms before they come into the room. Kind of screening processes there, electronic screening processes. In addition, we have we're asking them when they come in the room to wash their hands immediately, not touch your face and not touch others.
It's very difficult
and stay,
not to do.
Yeah, it really is. I've become aware of how often I touch my face, for example. So, asking people to become, in the simplest terms, aware of the symptoms and the steps they need to take if they have those symptoms. One of the things I've noticed here, and maybe it's where we live, maybe it's America, I don't know, but we want to all be okay. We want to see like, well, we're good, I'm good, you got a fever, oh, I'm fine. No, we don't need, this isn't about you. It's not about how you feel. It's about what you're exposing the people around you to. So
I used to have students that would come into my class and they were hacking and they were coughing and their nose was running and they'd be like, I'm sick, but I'm here. And I'm like, go home.
We don't want
I
you
used
here.
to, I jokingly would say, it affects your grade if I get sick.
Right.
I'm just saying.
That's right.
You know, but yes, you have to be aware of yourself. And if something's not if you're not feeling right, you stay away until you're feeling. We're going to help you get through the class. We're going to help you as much as we possibly can.
Well, that's the thing about Meridian Community College, is that I have been overwhelmed by the stories, the support, the encouragement that I'm hearing from others. I have a daughter who's a first-year student here at MCC. She's absolutely loved the experience.
Good.
It's been better than I ever could have imagined for her.
Good.
And so I was just curious. So I called her and I said, hey, tell me about, do you understand what's going on? Do you understand what the college is asking of you? Are you prepared for, I asked her, like, so when do your classes start? Like, tell me when they restart. Tell me, I just asked her some basic information. And she tells me she's heard from her instructors and and they're working to communicate with her and as students, and she felt, from her perspective, very comfortable and very confident with what she was going to be doing next. And so, but she, like many students, is already taking online courses in addition to face-to-face courses. So it's hard to explain to folks who haven't been to MCC for a while or haven't been in school for a while that the online environment is not new to us.
No.
It's not new to us. We have students from, I always say, and I don't know if it's literally true, but it might be, all over the world taking online courses here at Meridian Community College. I know from all over the country.
Yes.
And so.
I have had students in the military who were overseas in Europe or in Asia. Or taking my classes.
So this isn't foreign to us. This is something we're comfortable with, something we do. The majority of our university transfer classes were online anyway, so there were online versions of those courses. So the transition wasn't as difficult as it might be for some institutions that have not embraced the technology and that format like we have. Now, again, admittedly, in some of our career tech areas, it's a little more complicated, but I've been really impressed by our faculty members who have been creative, who they know what their objectives are, they know what they're trying to accomplish,
Yeah.
and they are being flexible, they are keeping those objectives in mind, and they're trying to figure out what they have to do to get through this crisis. And it just says something about the strength of this community. I think it's important.
Now, I want to ask one more question.
Sure.
And a lot of people that I've spoken to, one in particular that I talked to yesterday in the grocery store, was thinking that we are overreacting. What
Right.
do you say to people who think that we're overreacting in our response to COVID-19?
Well, it's a great question, and I certainly have at any point of change when we're making decisions, the thought is always, is this the appropriate response given what we know? So the answer to the question is, history may prove that we're all overreacting.
Okay.
But I would much rather prefer to err on the side of caution than to look back 2, 3, 4, 5 months from now and wish we had done more. So we take the responsibility to make these decisions very, very seriously.
And you don't do it alone.
No, we don't do it
You haven't
alone.
just arbitrarily decided
No.
on all of this.
Not arbitrary at all. We are engaging, of course, a team of personnel here, but in addition, regular and routine consultations with colleagues from across the state, 2-year and 4-year colleagues, information and briefings with the Mississippi State Department of Health, information we receive from the CDC and the WHO. We're not just consulting popular media or
Sure.
what you might call politicized media. We're trying to go to the most accurate and reliable sources we know and make decisions that we believe are in the best interest of our community, our students. We know. Listen, this isn't about quarantining the campus. It's about creating the safest possible environment to continue to complete the semester, so that we can move on from there, and then see where we are with regards to a summer term and then a fall term. No, these decisions aren't made flippantly, and they're not made lightly. We are strongly engaged in conversations that we believe are providing us accurate and updated information that we believe is reliable, and all with the mindset of being able to look back and say we did enough. We did what we needed to do, in hopes that it as they say, the curve does flatten, and we're not taxing our healthcare system, but we are doing everything we can to provide the safest possible environment for our students, our faculty, and our staff.
Well, listen, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
And for giving us all this valuable information.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm very grateful. The community of faculty and staff here at this college are strong. I'm thankful for them. Everyone has stepped up. We've all moved into a level of discomfort,
Yes.
which is a sign of the strength of a community. And so I'm very, very, very proud to be part of this group.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
All right, so you're looking to make a career decision that's crazy smart and won't break the bank. Then let's start with tuition guarantee and a home field advantage. That's Meridian Community College, and we're changing the game. We've got heavy metal drilling and saving lives. Or how about building a rover that could drive on Mars? We're more than grades in a classroom. We're your Red Bull monster shot of knowledge that will help you own that next job. This is not just the 13th year, it's the gateway to your entire career. Are you ready for more? Well, the Eagle has landed. Find your wings.
On behalf of executive producer Matt Milner and me, thank you for watching MCC Today. We hope you find the information valuable. Please stay safe. See you soon.